What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support. We're going up on this channel and it's all because of you. Are you ready? Fat Guys Gone Wild Part 2. Let's go. What's up? I'm back. It's another one right here on the collective clips, and you guys already know what it is. So look, trip out on this, right? The other day I did a story about Gordo, right? Show, right? My celly that was a little bit bigger than most, right? You know, the homeboy said that wasn't obese, that was obscene. Yeah, it was an obscene thing, man, and it was a situation that I had to go to. I call it the fucking he was the deodorant melter. Because every time deodorant hit his skin from that day forward, it just gone. Disappearing act. He's a magician. Serio, that about the sobacos were on magician shit. David Copperfield. Gone, bro. I've never seen speed stick. I guess that's why they call it speed stick. Because when you put it under a fat guy's arms, it speedily goes away. So anyways, I wanted to tell you guys another story. Part 2, man. About a situation with two obese men, right? Two wildebeests. Big guys, right? Because there are big guys in prison. See, it's not crazy. Like you see the guys on the thumbnail, and that's about how big these guys were. You're not going to see big, fat, giant guys because they starve you into submission in prison. In prison, you lose weight whether you want to or not. Some do, but there are some big boned individuals that it doesn't matter what you give them, what you put on their plate. For some reason, it's like their fat fucking regenerates. I don't know. I seen a guy, he was so big, they starved him for a month, he got bigger. I don't know how that works out, right? But at the same time, in the meantime, in between time, everybody's body is different. Everybody wiggles differently in prison. Here's a story about the Thunderdome. Two big old marranos, right? That decided that if for no other reason, they were going to have some conflict. Now, I told you about the Fat Boy Club. It's like a hidden rule, bro. It's like a secret society. It's like the Bohemian Grove, right? Where these two individuals that are big and fat on the yard. Sometimes there's 3 or 4, right? They're from the Fat Kids Club. They love it like a fat kid loves cake, right? They'll walk around the yard, like I said, and it's like fucking they know. They just know. They know something we don't know. Like they taste hamburgers differently. Do you understand? Where we're like, it's a Big Mac, it's all right. They're like, right? They really are into it. So it's something that they only know the rules and regulations to the Fat Guy Club. And when they look at each other, it's in slow motion. You could just read their minds. They're like, I'm hungry. Are you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry. What's up, right? That's the communication for them. So anyways, there was these two big old guys on the yard, right? And they were both Native Americans. Now, I don't know about you, but I haven't seen too many big, gigantic Native Americans. I guess there are some on the res. I remember I used to go to the Tule res all the time just because my ex, this chick that I was with, she was from Porterville and she had family on the Tule res. She had, she had like a smidgen of indigenous blood in her, I guess, right? So we'd slide up to the res, go kick it with our primas and primos, get hella faded, go to the casino, do all kinds of crazy shit, right? It was all good in the hood. But anyways, I remember there was a big Native American dude that used to sit on his porch, and that's all he did. It was his dog, his porch, and his fucking alcohol. Never moved, never got up. I used to be like, I don't even know if that vato can get up. He was pretty big. How them stairs hold him up? They were reinforced with cinder blocks, right? Palabra, cinder blocks, plywood, and big fucking nalgas, and that's it. And he never moved. He just moved enough to sip. That's it. They used to call him slow motion. The vato was slow motion. So anyways, I do know that there are bigger native cats, but I've never really seen too many of them. Usually the natives I've ran into in prison are physically fit. They're either cut up, pretty big, man, but not obese, right? Well, these two guys were different. Okay, these two guys were about to get their motherfucking on, like, but it sounded more like this, right? So we're on the yard, and for whatever reason, I don't know if they fought over the last box of Crunch-A-Munch or whatever, but these two dudes were celled in together. Again, I told you in the first video I did the other day that, you know, usually fat guys, the cops will try to keep them separated, segregated from each other, just because there's not enough room in these cells to provide a proper living space, right? But in this case, because they were from the same Ranfla, same car, their homeboys thought it would be funny to get them moved into the same cell. And again, you can't deny a cellie. You could beat your cellie up. You could deny him fucking, you know, that. But you can't deny a cellie. And especially if they're your homeboy and they're from your carro, you just got to go. You just got to go with the flow. And one thing I could tell you about the Native Americans in prison, they stick together. Yes, they stick together like flat on tires. They're really with the shit. And they have their own program, their own religions, their own ways. And Native Americans function where I was at on the same side of the yard of the Southsiders and the whites. But they get along pretty much with everybody. I had always a lot of willings and dealings going on with the natives, because there was at one point in time when I was the fraju man in a particular institution, and the natives like to get their powwow on, right? So, of course, natives always have tobacco, though, because they're allowed to smoke tobacco. It's their religion, right? No, they're not allowed to smoke frajos like that, but they go to their sweats and their powwows, and they be puffing on the peace pipe. They be getting their issue, right? So natives usually have cigarettes, but there's sometimes that they don't, and they want them, and I could facilitate that at that point. So anyways, fucking Big and Bigger are in the cell together, and one was slightly bigger. No joke, one was about 550, the other one was like 450, right? Combined weight of 1 thou wow. Straight up, these vatos looked like the one-man gang in Earthquake. When they came out of the cell, everyone synced them. There was no missing these guys. We used to joke about it. Fuck, bro, they be in there just fucking powwowing, right? They were big dudes. Even the Native American brothers used to joke. They used to laugh. They used to be like, hey, what's up? Come here. Big and Bigger, right? Straight up. It was funny because up to this point, I've never really seen guys this big celled in together. I've seen bigger guys together, you know what I mean? Vatos had potbelly pigs, you know, vatos that had a little something going on right there. They'd come out and they'd walk around like they're all tough, bro. But when your stomach sticks out more than your nipples, you're excluded from the reindeer games, right? So anyways, these vatos used to be in that motherfucker just spoiking together, right? There was a lot of splunging going on in there. Working out, nah, you know. But one thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know the Native American business like that. I was never in that Ranfla. But I don't know if they hold their people accountable to working out, or if that's their thing, if it's a rules and regulation. You know, I know within the North and the South, man, it was kind of like work out, keep yourself physically fit, keep yourself ready, like spaghetti. You just had to be out there and you had to be ready for guerra at any time. And that's just the Mexicans' way. I know the brothers used to be out there really busting down, hitting them water bags and all that. You know, but there are fat people and skinny people and ugly people from everywhere. You're looking at one, right? Skinny and ugly. So I'm saying, hey, again, I'm not trying to clown on bigger people. I'm just saying at the end of the day, these vatos were fucking bigger than most. So trip out. I don't know if the issue arose over food, but I'm thinking so, right? Something happened within that cell where there started to become friction, literally, and animosity. So the Native Americans took it upon themselves to separate these two guys. And one big boy got moved to another cell, a couple cells down, and that was it. And I thought everything was going to be all right? I used to be like telling the homeboy, hey, bro, what's up with the fucking, the big one? One of them was bald and one of them had long ass hair. Usually natives, they grow their shit out banging, man. I seen a native with his hair from the top of his head all the way to his tippy toes, man. Real talk. Some of them, their shit just goes, right? One thing, natives got that good hair. So anyways, one vault had a big old chongo. He used to put in a big old braid. It was long, man. Big old brother, right? Big old, just looked like a Uso, but he was, I think he was from Pomos, the Pomo natives. And then the other one, I'm not sure exactly where he was from. He was more fair-skinned, fatter, and bald, right? He just looked like a chewed up piece of carne. He was in that, the back of his head looked like the fucking double Royale burger from McDonald's. It looked like a double from In-N-Out. He had what you call hamburger head. So on the back of his shit, it looked like a fucking big old piece of fucking bologna when you buy it from the butcher. The other Vatos head wasn't that bad because he was a little bit thinner than the bigger dude. But at the same time, it did look like a chewed up burrito from top, a top ramen burrito. So anyways, they both had some issues. Okay, one of them had acne real bad. The one with the chongo, fucking a lot of acne. So I used to be like, damn, bro. If fucking he just gets fatter, he's just gonna pop. That's how bad it was. So anyways, they're moved. And for a while, man, I could see them on the yard kind of just like looking at each other, mean mugging. No, two dogs, fuck you, and I won't fuck you, right? And I could see the other one like, fuck you, coyote, man, right? They were tripping. And I was like, wow, I ain't never seen the native. I mean, I've seen the natives get off. Don't get it twisted. Shout out to my native brothers, man. I seen them handle business. They pulled out, I seen one pull out a fucking filero. It looked like it had a deer antler on it. Real talk. I was like, damn. He Wes Watson that must have been rough, right? Straight up. There ain't an amount of toilet paper that you can wrap around that fucking horn to make me stick that in my shit. But anyways, they were with the activities. So what happened was, in this prison, there was a latrine area. Let me explain what a latrine area is for you, those that don't know, never been there. It's a toilet on the yard. There was 2 toilets and a pisser on the yard, yes. And so a lot of people didn't take shits on the yard. It just doesn't happen much unless it's an emergency. So let's get fucked, I gotta go, right? You'll see about the fucking running. Oh, come on, ice cream. And he's gonna run. But even then, bro, you better wipe that motherfucker off, throw your t-shirt down, do whatever you gotta do, bro, because you don't know whose cheeks has been on that shit. You're going to definitely catch the tuberculosis. So the Vato fucking, the big, heavy D and the boys, that Vato needed to take a caca one day, right? So usually when people go to this latrine area, you're always in the buddy system in prison. This was a 3-yard, so you're always going to be potting it up with someone, right? Well, guess who he was potting it up with this day? Yes, big dude, right? Well, he's the bigger dude and he was potting it up with fucking mugre. So these guys fucking waddled together. They look like the 2 fat guys from that. It's all around the world, the same song. Remember that movie? The one with Chevy Chase, or was it Dan Aykroyd? Whichever movie, that's the fucking one. They look like the fucking brothers, you know, in the diapers. I like her. That's how they look. So these vatos are waddling over there. And again, they don't get along. They don't like each other. Little did I know, or did anyone know, man, there was going to be some shit going on there, right? There was going to be some shit flying, literally, you know. How he reached down and grabbed this shit, I don't know. To this day, how they wiped their ass, it's still a mystery to me. They should put that shit on Unsolved Mysteries. They should have an episode of how a fat guy wipes his ass. Anyways, but it's not that serious. So these 2 dudes fucking waddle on over to the toilet area, right? And again, they don't like each other. The big fucking dude, he's sitting on the toilet for a very long time. So the other dude is fucking upset, right? Because he has to sit there in the sun baking like fucking sizzling. And he's telling him, he's talking to him like, get your fat ass off the toilet already, bro. This ain't your cell. Save that shit for your cell. Now Valto's right there, like, got a newspaper. One thing about big dudes, and I know because I was selling with my celly. Remember I told you guys? They hibernate on that toilet. Once they get on it, they're on Captain Caveman status. It's like a big grizzly bear, man, sitting on a rabbit. They're just comfortable. That Valto fucking just found his area, and boom. Once he sat down, there ain't no getting up, right? Literally, when the Vato got off the toilet, the other Vato had to fucking do you know how the natives do the shake like this? He had to fucking literally fucking pull him up. That's crazy. So anyways, they're arguing back and forth. So I started to realize, these guys are this is fat guy problems. They're just arguing because they're 2 big guys that are embarrassed, right? So they would argue. So this dude's sitting on the toilet, and what had happened was, I guess the other guy just got frustrated and tired, and he walked away. He walked away, right? He left his homeboy right there, Kung Pao Chicken, just sitting on there with Chorro, right? Now, you're not supposed to do that. In any group, you're not supposed to walk away from the people, man. I don't give a fuck if you like them or you don't. There was a gang of times they would send me with the little homeboy that I didn't really care for, and I'd be like, hurry up, bro. Take your dick out some fuck, eh? You know what I mean? Damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got big dick problems. Yeah, sure. You don't know what that is. Sometimes I do. Hurry up, right? And so the Vato would do his thing, and we were cool with it. We'd wiggle on. But I never left my post. I never left the homeboy unguarded because there's opposition that target people like that. You don't leave a person on the shitter out in the yard by himself because he's in a vulnerable position. And anyway, but I mean, he wasn't getting up anyways without help, right? So imagine it could have kicked off on the yard, and that Vato would have been there trying to wipe his ass, trying to get up. He'd have just rolled and shit. You'd have just seen a fat dude just rolling. You know what happened? I tried, homie, I tried, with a big old cagada hanging out of his ass. I tried. Yeah, you did, bro. We seen you rolling across the yard. Yeah, hey, give that Vato a brownie point. He did that. Literally a brownie point. So anyways, he pulls his chonies up, right? Big old fucking things, and goes waddling across the yard, right? They sent big dude back over there to pull him up, right? Can't leave your post, homie. They're arguing the whole way back, and I'm thinking, damn, it's funny. At this point, it's funny. Now, they ain't gonna do shit, right? So the Native Americans are talking to him, and they're having their little powwow. They're doing their little thing, right? And I guess the dude who was on the toilet was upset because dude left them hanging. So he decided he was going to fucking sumo wrestle this motherfucker. He was going to get off on him, bro. Now, I don't know how the natives rock, but I've never seen them. I've seen them remove each other. I've seen Vatos get removed. They were no good. They came in, they were playing the native role. One thing about the natives, nowadays, you can't just say, oh, hey, homie, I'm from this tribe. You have to really prove it. You have to show a certain percentage of native activity to be, let's jam, native active. You have to show a certain percentage because back in the days, there was a thing called the blonde era when a bunch of blonde-haired, blue-eyed guys grew their hair out and wanted to smoke, so they decided to claim Cherokee. Hey, even black dudes talking about, what's up, brother? Right? What the fuck? I ain't never seen a black Indian. Right? Nah, they were doing their thing, right? So there was a lot of people that were perpetrating or using it as a crutch just for one other reason or another, so they can go smoke or kick it. Because one thing about the natives, they don't really have too many issues. When they do have issues, they do. But they don't usually have issues with nobody, man. So anyways, like I said, these two fucking fat fuckers, they're celled away from each other, but they're like 3 cells away from each other. You know what I'm saying? The stomach's still touching. You know what I mean? Kiss me through the phone, touch me through the wall. Like when these Vatos came out of their cells, they were close together, and they were 3 cells down. What does that tell you? Big dudes. So the one that had walked away, he's gonna be target practice because big fucking dude that could barely move. I mean, he was on the brink. He was just slightly, he was like 550, man. He was one of them dudes that barely could walk. You know what I'm saying? Just breathe. When he walked, I was like, damn, that Vato's hungry. It wasn't even hungry. It was just fucking, the struggle was real. They had one of those machines in the cell so he could breathe and shit. Both of them had the same machine. With all the wires, the air tanks and everything, plus their fat ass stomachs in that cell, wasn't no room for paperwork. Let me check your paperwork, homie. All right, never mind, eh? You're busy. So anyways, big dude decides he's going to catch other dudes slipping, right? On the toilet. Now, as far as the natives go again, within the Mexican movements, north and south, you will come to yard. 1,000,000%, you will make yourself and your presence felt. You coming out ese chale. We know he got stabbed next after Santana. Because you're going to come out of your cell no matter what, rain, snow, shine, sickness through health, right? Like a wedding. You're going to be there, humps, for your significant other. You're coming out to the yard because it's mandatory to come out to the yard, because if anything kicks off and you're on that roster, humps, and you're not out there to fucking step your game up, you're going to get whacked. That's just what it is. You're going to get questioned. If you're at medical, visita, work, okay, that's different. School, anything like that where it's out of your reach, you know what I mean? Then you're good. But if you fucking just stood in your cell because you want to watch the next fucking episode of Gilligan's Island, well, guess what? Rut-row, Raggy. They're going to Scooby-Doo your ass as soon as you come back out because you never leave the homeboys fucking, leaking. That's what it is. Numbers count in prison. And when motherfucking Vatos see your numbers are low, that's when they want to go. Believe it. It's strategy. The art of war. So anyways, this fucking, the fat dude with the one that wasn't as big, right? He's sitting on the toilet. Door pops. Very vulnerable position. I don't even know why his cellie let him do that, but he did. So big fucking Humpty Dumpty kind of goes over there, walks by his cell, and sees his ass sitting on the toilet, right? And says, okay, you wanted to leave me while I was on the toilet? Now I'm going to leave you leaking while you're on the toilet, right? And never in the whole history of fatterdom have I ever seen 2 big sumo wrestlers really fight. Now, like I said, these guys were both slow motion. They both really couldn't do that, right? But let me tell you this, man. When they went into fight mode, that's the native in them came out. You know what I mean? Hey, Big Bear versus Big Coyote, and they were going at it, homie. The big fucking gigantic dude stood in front of the other fat dude's cell. The other fat dude's fucking going through his motion, and he tells the cop, hey, can you open this door? Now, the cop doesn't know if it's his cell or not. He just pops the door, and when he does this big fat fucking slow motion too, went in there, what's up now, right? And slap the fuck out of fucking Big Boy. Well, what he didn't know was Big fucking Monstro, he had his piece right there just fucking sitting next to him. He had to take it out of his ass to take his shit, right? So he did his drop, or I don't know, bro. To this day, I'm still wondering how, and why. But anyway, so he put his shit to the side. So he reaches over, swinging from the toilet, right? So one dude's taking flight, the other dude's swinging with a piece from the toilet. Big Boy wrestles him. The big dude wrestles fucking Big Boy, grabs the fucking piece. Now, this is all going on in the cell, right? Cell doors open. Cops are like, get down. These fat fuck. There's no room for both of them to get down. They would have just had to lay on top of each other, and that surely would have been the death of them, right? So it was like the cops laughing, literally This dude is trying to whack the dude. He can't. Fucking, the knife's falling all over. There's shit all over both of them. Shit. I've never seen so much shit on a person besides when my primo got hella drunk with that chick and I said they shit all over each other. This right here was different. This was shit all in their braids. You know what I mean? They looked like a whole box of Raisinets melted. They were fucked, right? Literally. Shit, blood, piss, whatever else, other fucking type of fluid that comes out of fat people. That was what was there. They were both, by the time the cops got in there after laughing at them and broke them up, these dudes were purple. They were sweaty. They had shit. This one guy was like, hey, you mind if I get some toilet paper to wipe this shit off? The cop's like, shut your fat ass up, right? They had to bring out 6 pairs of handcuffs for these fat fuckers, and they were waddling with shit all over. One of them, his calzones, because he was on the toilet, right, were all ripped off. This vato was buck naked. I ain't never seen nothing like it. It was like Honey Boo Boo, right? But when she got older, just this vato was fucking waddling out of there. Fucking the cop, he smelled like shit. The cops were doing this. The other bigger guy, the one that rushed the other guy, right? This vato had literally a fucking big old clump of caca stuck to his ear. And as he's walking, he thinks he's all cool too. Like, I handle my business. A big old piece of shit just fell off in the day room. And I heard a brother go, ah, blood! Right? Because that brother was the porter and he was going to have to come out and clean that shit up. He was like, oh, Pablo! Right? These are true stories. This shit really fucking happened. This ain't a Wes Watson episode where you can't believe nothing you hear. Right? I couldn't believe it. They sumo wrestled and neither one of them came back. And then it was cool. It was like the air changed. Literally. It was like there was more oxygen for the rest of us. Because these vatos, they breathed heavy. You know? That's one thing about a fat dude, man. And getting back to my fat celly, right? That vato breathed all the H2O. There was really, literally, them vatos, it's different for them. That vato used to breathe, he's like, I was like, damn, it was like he was fucking trying to fucking sell a boat in there. Real talk. Anyways, man, that's the story of the Fatguys Part 2. It happened. It was real life. I remember this time just knowing. But imagine these fucking 2 dudes in a cell together. You know what I mean? Just deodorant time. Eating. Hey, I walked by the cell one day, right? I was hella cool with the smaller one of the 2 guys, right? We did a little bit of business on the yard, you know what I'm saying? It just was what it was. And I remember he was like, hey, brother, they was making these fat fuckers figured out how to make fry bread in prison. Literally. Hey, we're making fry bread burritos. You want some? The bigger one was sitting on the bed. The bed it's a metal bed, gente. The shit was bowing, right? And he had a fucking piece of fry bread like that, just smacking that burrito back. I was like, bro, where'd they even get this shit at? Fat guy problems. They figure it out. Always where there's a will, there's a way. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive, the struggle, the struggle, the strive. I tell this in a comedic way, man, but it was pretty serious. In prison, everything is serious, especially on a 3 or 4 yard. Them guys would have definitely, man, got smashed for what they did, especially the one that rushed them. And again, man, they had issues. You know, it just is what it is, man. Anyways, with respect to all, man, I appreciate you guys listening to the stories. Thank you guys so much. Again, I hope you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive, the struggle, the struggle, the strive. We're going to continue to do what we do here and do it live, man. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. Hey, I could have swore faintly, and I don't know, I was in a cell across the yard, across the day room when they were fighting, but I could have heard a vato in there saying, Geronimo! It was crazy. Natives move different, but fat natives? Well, that's a whole nother story. Bang, bang. Gun gang.